In the late 1960s and early 70s, a shadow loomed over Northern California. A figure, who would come to be known as the Zodiac Killer, began a reign of terror that would leave an indelible mark on the annals of American crime. It all started on December 20th, 1968. Teenagers Betty Lou Jensen and David Faraday were on their first date. Their lives were tragically cut short on a lonely stretch of road in Vallejo, California. This was only the beginning. As the Zodiac Killer's attacks continued, the terror spread. He taunted the police and the public with cryptic letters and ciphers, some of which remain unsolved to this day. The killer's audacity and the sheer randomness of his attacks left everyone on edge, wondering where he would strike next. The Zodiac Killer, emboldened by his initial success, began to taunt the police and the public. His first confirmed murders were just the beginning of a reign of terror that would grip the San Francisco Bay Area for years. The killer's audacity knew no bounds, and he seemed to revel in the chaos he created. Each new letter he sent was a fresh wound to the community, a reminder that he was still out there, watching, waiting, and planning his next move. He sent cryptic letters and ciphers to newspapers, challenging everyone to decode his messages. These letters were filled with bizarre symbols and taunting remarks, making it clear that he saw himself as intellectually superior to those trying to catch him. The ciphers were a twisted game, a puzzle that he believed only he could solve. Each letter was signed with a symbol that would become infamous, a circle with a cross through it, the mark of the Zodiac. The authorities were stumped, and fear spread through the community like wildfire. The police, despite their best efforts, were always one step behind. The Zodiac seemed to anticipate their every move, staying just out of reach. The public, meanwhile, was gripped by a sense of dread. Every new headline brought fresh panic, and people began to look over their shoulders, wondering if they might be the next target. The Zodiac's ability to evade capture only added to his mystique, turning him into a dark legend. The killer's arrogance grew with each passing day, feeding off the terror he instilled in his victims and the helplessness of those trying to stop him. He seemed to thrive on the fear and confusion he caused, using it as fuel for his twisted game. The detectives working the case were under immense pressure, their frustration mounting as each lead turned into a dead end. The community, once tight-knit and trusting, was now fractured by suspicion and fear. The Zodiac Killer had turned their world upside down, and there seemed to be no end in sight. The tension reached its peak as the Zodiac Killer's reign of terror showed no signs of stopping. The city was gripped by fear, with every shadow and every dark corner holding the potential for another horrifying crime. The streets, once bustling with life, now seemed deserted as night fell, with only the brave or the desperate venturing out. The police patrolled tirelessly, their eyes scanning for any sign of the elusive killer. The police were under immense pressure, working around the clock to piece together the puzzle. Their desks were cluttered with files, photographs, and maps, each one a fragment of the larger, more sinister picture. Detectives huddled in dimly lit rooms, their faces etched with determination and fatigue as they reviewed evidence and debated theories, and the public demanded answers. Town hall meetings were filled with anxious citizens, their voices rising in a chorus of fear and frustration. Newspapers splashed sensational headlines across their front pages, each new detail feeding the growing hysteria. News reporters stood on street corners, delivering updates with grave expressions, their words echoing the collective anxiety of the community. Amidst the chaos, a few brave individuals stepped forward, determined to crack the killer's code. These were not just police officers but also amateur sleuths, cryptographers, and concerned citizens, all united by a common goal. They gathered in small, dimly lit rooms, their tables covered with maps, letters, and cryptic symbols, each one a potential clue, determined to crack the killer's code. They meticulously analyzed every letter, every symbol, hoping to find a pattern or a hidden message. Their eyes strained under the dim light, their hands steady as they wrote down their findings or used magnifying glasses to examine the smallest details. The tension in the room was palpable, each person lost in their thoughts, driven by the hope of a breakthrough. Nights turned into days as they pored over every detail, every symbol, refusing to rest until they had exhausted every possibility. The stacks of papers grew taller, the notes more detailed, as they documented their progress and setbacks. The Zodiac letters, with their taunting messages and cryptic symbols, were scrutinized over and over, each one a potential key to unlocking the mystery, hoping to find the key that would unlock the mystery. The clock was ticking, each second a reminder of the urgency of their task. People paced nervously, their minds racing with possibilities and theories. The intense focus on the documents was almost hypnotic, as they searched for that one piece of information that would make everything fall into place. And the stakes had never been higher. The worried faces of the investigators, the tight grip on the papers, and the flashing police lights in the night all underscored the gravity of the situation. Failure was not an option, and the weight of the responsibility was felt by everyone involved. The climax of this harrowing saga was approaching, and the outcome was uncertain. Finally, a breakthrough came. A partial solution to one of the ciphers was found, providing a glimpse into the twisted mind of the Zodiac Killer. Though it wasn't enough to capture him, it gave the investigators a direction, a sense of hope. The relentless pursuit continued with new leads and fresh eyes on the case. Slowly but surely, the pieces of the puzzle began to fall into place. Despite the progress, the Zodiac Killer was never caught. The investigation spanned decades, involving countless hours of police work, interviews, and the analysis of cryptic messages sent by the killer himself. Each clue seemed to bring investigators closer, yet the elusive nature of the Zodiac always kept them just out of reach. The fear and intrigue surrounding the case captivated the public, making it one of the most infamous unsolved mysteries in American history. His identity remains one of the greatest mysteries in criminal history. Over the years, numerous suspects have been proposed, each with their own set of compelling evidence and theories. From Arthur Lee Allen to more obscure figures, the speculation has never ceased. Yet, despite the advancements in forensic science and the tireless efforts of amateur sleuths and professional detectives alike, the true face of the Zodiac Killer remains hidden in the shadows. The case left an indelible mark on law enforcement and the public alike. It highlighted the challenges and limitations of criminal investigations during that era, and it spurred advancements in forensic techniques and criminal profiling. The Zodiac's taunting letters and ciphers not only terrorized the communities he targeted, but also challenged the very institutions meant to protect them. The media frenzy that followed each new development kept the case in the public eye, ensuring that the Zodiac Killer would never be forgotten. It served as a grim reminder of the darkness that can lurk within humanity. The Zodiac Killer's actions were not just a series of random violent acts. They were calculated, deliberate, and designed to instill fear. His ability to evade capture and his willingness to communicate with the media and law enforcement added a psychological dimension to his crimes, making him a figure of both horror and fascination. The case continues to be a subject of study for criminologists, psychologists, and true crime enthusiasts. The story of the Zodiac Killer is a chilling testament to the enduring quest for justice and the unyielding human spirit in the face of fear. Law enforcement officers, journalists, and ordinary citizens have all played a role in keeping the memory of the victims alive and in the ongoing search for answers. The Zodiac Killer case is a stark reminder of the complexities of human nature and the lengths to which people will go to seek truth and justice. It is a story that continues to resonate, reminding us of the fragility of safety and the resilience of those who strive to protect it.